It's coming this way. Wait a minute, hey, I'm ghosted!
By Roz Hernandez.
Doug Benson.
Yes.
Hi.
Present.
I'm obsessed with your ghost wear.
It's, something I didn't have to like pull this out of the back of the closet to come beyond ghosted. I really wear this stuff with some frequency. I also have a hoodie sweater that's got the ghost, a nice white ghost right in the center. And I almost wore that, but I would have been too warm.
What's the company?
Ghostly Goods.
Ghostly Goods.
Yeah, and they are a fledgling cannabis company in Florida where they won't legalize it. Oh. So in the meantime, he's making cool apparel for his company that can't really move forward until Florida gets their act together.
You don't smoke weed, do you?
I do all kinds of. I imbibe it in many ways, but yes, smoking is one of them.
But it's not legal in Florida. So how do people? So people, that means people don't do it in Florida?
No, they just do it anyway. It's crazy. Like, it's wild, the places that you think about. Like, I was just reading today about how Pennsylvania won't legalize, but all the states around them have. So, like, if you're living in Philadelphia, you just go to New Jersey to get your weed and then come back and smoke it.
So old school
it's
at
silly.
This point.
Yeah, it's really
Especially
silly.
living in LA. It's like people are just smoking weed everywhere.
Yeah. And and both markets seem to be working, like there's stores that seem to be making money, but people still have their other ways to get it, because the stores are expensive.
Right.
It's very pricey.
You kind of look like you're in like a paranormal investigation group. When you first showed up, that's what I thought.
I should have some sort of like device, some sort of detecting device.
Because for anyone not watching, you have a hat with a ghost on and a jacket with a ghost on.
I do look like I work for like a ghost exterminator company. Really?
Have you ever experienced a ghost?
I have not, to the best of my recollection.
Do you believe in it?
It may have happened to me when I was blackout drunk one time or two, but I do believe in ghosts because, first of all, there's no reason to not believe in ghosts that I can think of, because some people have seen them, and everything around us to me is a strange miracle. That, like, why are there people say, how could there be ghosts? They say, how could there be people? How'd that happen?
Okay.
You know what I mean? If that happened, then there should also potentially be ghosts. But I've never personally experienced it, and whenever, this doesn't happen a lot, but whenever I'm somewhere where somebody says, don't stay at that hotel, it's haunted, don't go in that bar, it's haunted. Whenever people call things haunted, that's where, I'm going to go check it out. But, oftentimes like during business hours, so it's like by the light of day. So what's going to happen?
What's a place you've been that's haunted?
Like the Driscoll Hotel in Austin, They won't stop about how haunted that thing is. All the people that like that sort of thing. And, and I've been to the bar there. I haven't stayed in a room there, but every time I go to South by Southwest, somebody that's staying in that hotel will be like, yeah, there's weird bumping.
Right.
I heard noises.
Right.
And I'm like, you've stayed in hotels where you don't hear noises?
I know. That is one I need to check out. Thanks for reminding me of that. Because I'm really into going to hotels that are haunted. I don't like to sleep at them. If you tell me it's haunted, there's no way I'm going to sleep. But I like to go poke my head around.
Sure.
I get a little nosy.
Yeah, and they're probably an older hotel, so you don't have to have a key to go up in the elevator and stuff. So you could just
go in.
Walk the halls.
So, okay, what about, I want to know your thoughts about other things, though.
Okay.
Like UFOs.
Again, never experienced one, but certainly not against the idea. I'm not scared of aliens because in my experience, they've had plenty of time to really make a show of it, like to really do something big and bad. Right. And it hasn't happened. So I can't put too much concern into it.
Right. And that's the thing at this point. It's like, I feel like so much crazy shit happens that is so... I mean, I never would have thought that the world would have closed down because of a disease the way it did with COVID. Like, who knows what will ever happen? So if a UFO came down, I feel like we'd all be like... If you would have done this 20 years ago, we would have really given you the reaction you want. But right now, we're just like, okay, great.
Yeah, now there's other TV programs we'd rather watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Other news we'd rather listen to.
Are you a psychedelic person?
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
Never messed with any. I'm quite, other than alcohol and weed, I'm pretty straight. No, I haven't even tried most of the hard drugs. And I only, like one time I got to find out how momentarily awesome morphine can be because I went, because I was in the hospital with a kidney stone and they gave me a shot of morphine. That was pretty, I mean, I'm not hooked on it or anything, but I could see the appeal.
Yeah. Oh God, a kidney stone. But yeah, that's the thing with like, we talk often on this show about psychedelics, people doing psychedelics, and they, the things that they report seeing. Is that just drugs, or is there something to it? A little supernatural? I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know, but I was thinking that between ghosts and UFOs, when if someone said to me, I saw a ghost, I just pretty much believe that they saw a ghost. But with a UFO, you immediately go, are you sure it wasn't a Frisbee or a... or just a regular plane or helicopter, or you know what I mean. There's so many plausible explanations for when people think they see a UFO,
right?
But when they say they saw a ghost, what am I going to say? Was there a strong breeze? Like what?
It's a very pale person. That's not a ghost.
Yeah, because a breeze in and of itself could seem like a ghost if it goes through you,
or just like knocking, or sounds that you hear. They can all be explained away, but like. My thing with UFOs is I don't know anything that's up in the sky. So to me, I guess it's I don't know what all that... I guess somebody can explain to you what every little drone and satellite... I don't know what all that shit is. Yeah. Listen, I went on this UFO tour a couple years ago in Sedona. I've talked about this before, but as time has gone on... I have talked to more people about this tour, and people are like, those aren't UFOs. Like, those are some kind of Elon Musk thing up there, or like, I don't know, something that's not a UFO. So I'm like, I just paid this woman to show me that stuff because we like went up, we had like these binoculars that see at nighttime, and I was very convinced that those are UFOs, but because I'm a dum-dum, I don't know anything else.
You think she really is just scamming everybody, or do you think she believes it and she's just a silly pants?
Well, the thing that I always come back to with this woman... So I go on this tour. I tell her, like, I have this podcast. We talk about aliens, and I would love to have you on the show. This is after she had already told me that she's been abducted multiple times. She's been up there. They know her. She was very, like, she's known up there, okay, according to her. So I'm like, I got to have this lady on my podcast. She gave me her card. She gave me her number. She gave me her email. I tried multiple times. I think she finally went up there, and she's never.
Oh, she's up there.
I think she's up there exactly where she wants to be. Because you know what else? The tour doesn't exist anymore. Last time I was there, I was trying to find the tour. I couldn't find it. So she's up there, in my opinion.
Yeah, she went. She got she got that big ride.
But I think that was honestly her goal the whole time, and it worked out. So I'm actually really happy for her. Okay, since we were talking about like how you could explain away different things, I want to tell you about this famous story. And this is an old story from England, so could just be hearsay, but apparently there are newspaper articles about it. It's the story of Scratching Fanny of Cock Lane.
They'll just run with some of the weirdest names over there.
So this story takes place on Cock Lane, which is a narrow street that dates back to the 1200s. Are you kidding me? And oh, by the way, I got all this information from historiclondontours.com. Okay, so in 1759, there was a loan shark named William Kent that moves into an apartment on Cock Lane with a woman named Fanny Lines. Lynes. Fanny Lines. She's the sister of William Kent's former wife. I don't know what her name was.
Yeah, and why is she out of the picture?
Well, she died during childbirth.
Oh.
But, so canon law prevented him from marrying her sister, but the two of them were in love. There was this man named Richard Parsons who offered his lodging rooms on Cock Lane to the couple. And so they move in, and strange sounds and ghost sightings had already been reported before they even got there. And Kent and Fanny, they did not stick around because Fanny got pregnant, and they're like, we can't have a child here. It's haunted. So they move off. And then a couple weeks later, Fanny got smallpox and she died. Okay. So also the guy that rented the house to them, this Parsons guy, he had debt that he needed to pay to the man, Kent. And he ended up getting sued, a whole thing, whatever. Okay. So anyway, to the ghost stuff. Fanny Lines is now dead. The apartment where they were living all of a sudden starts being haunted, and they think it's Fanny. Fanny is scratching like crazy. They're hearing scratching noises from Fanny Lines. And they did seances. They had local ministers. The daughter of the man who lived there, she was 11 years old, and she was like the center of all this. And they would do this thing where they'd say, knock once for yes, twice for no. And from that, they were able to conclude that it was indeed Fanny. She says that she was poisoned by the man, Kent. So it says the earlier scratchings and ghost sightings were determined to be Fanny's sister. So when Fanny was still alive, Fanny, I'm going to call her Fanny Senior, Big Fanny.
Yeah.
So Big Fanny, the original sister, was haunting because she was trying to warn Fanny, just so you know, that man's going to poison you.
Oh.
Okay? This is all coming from these knock once for yes.
Yeah.
But at this time in history, people were taking that kind of stuff seriously. So this became a big news story. And, you know, I have a lot of respect for this man. The man that ran the place, he was in debt. He just got sued. He decided he's going to start charging people to come listen to Fanny scratching. Mm-hmm. So all kinds of people were coming. Even the Duke of York himself showed up to hear Scratchin' Fanny. Of course, a lot of people are skeptical of this. And blah, blah, blah. Basically, turns out it was the little girl. She was just scratching a piece of wood. So there was no ghost.
Sounds like, but she'd have to do it, like, especially once the tours started coming through.
Yes,
she
places everyone.
Scratching all day.
She was scratching away and knocking on a block of wood that she had under her sheets in her bed. And, God, people were dumb back then.
Was the girl behind the whole thing? Was it her idea?
Well,
who put her up to it?
It was highly speculated that it was her dad, because her dad got sued by the man, Kent. Okay, the man who was married to Fanny and Fanny Sr.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Kent was a loan shark, gave some money to this man and his 11-year-old daughter. Then he didn't pay the money back, got sued. So now he's like really in debt. So his idea for how to make money back is to say that the loan shark poisoned his wife and now she's scratching my daughter's bed and charge people to come see it.
Yeah, in a different time, that guy could have been like a filmmaker or a producer.
Oh, nowadays this would be a TikTok.
To put all that together, to just make it happen, bring a child into it.
This would be a TikTok nowadays. Like somebody being like, there's a scratch in my house and it won't go away. And then like part 17 is them being like, and now I'm finding out that it's the wife who was poisoned. Like, please, this scam's been going on for years. So basically he was found guilty of making this whole thing up. They let the 11-year-old girl free. Because they said she was under the influence of her father. And he was found guilty of conspiracy. Even his wife was included in this and 3 other people. And he was punished 3 days in the pillory and then 2 years in prison.
What? Oh, okay.
For scratching.
I thought the pillory was going to be the worst part.
Oh, no, it got worse. But I don't...
The pillory is so everybody in town could see the person that, like, we've captured, they're going to jail, so they have to suffer for a few days in front of everybody.
Oh, my God.
Is that how that works?
It says, pillory is a wooden or metal framework that's used to publicly humiliate people. Oh, it's that thing where you put your arms through and your head through. Yeah.
That's like fun to do when you're like visiting a Western town or whatever.
And you take a photo.
Yeah.
But they fully had him in there. And I'm sure there were people walking by going, I'll give you something to scratch. He scratched my Fanny.
I think you could spit on him and stuff.
Oh, that sounds fun. We need to bring that back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
here's mud in your eye.
But I just think that feels extreme.
It does. Like when you said 3 days of that, I was like, okay, well, if he can get through those 3 days alive, then I guess it's over. But then prison.
Then you have to go to prison for conspiracy. But also it's like, that's slander. You can't say somebody poisoned his wife to death. She died of smallpox, by the way. But he's like, her ghost is telling me that he poisoned her. That's sketchy.
It's funny that he got so much trouble for essentially like anybody just sets up a haunted house and says, come through here, it's haunted, and when it isn't, why aren't they being arrested?
You know what? That's a great idea.
How come Disneyland's Haunted Mansion, nobody's suing? That wasn't really haunted.
Yeah, those people, that's faulty advertising.
I think maybe Disney killed somebody in the Haunted Mansion when it was being constructed to ensure that a genuine ghost will be there.
They say there's real ghosts in there.
Why wouldn't they be? If I was a ghost, that'd be where I'd go. There's always a party going on in that one room.
Absolutely. And I'm sure...
A ghost's birthday, which I don't understand that concept.
You can like pop out and nobody would know the difference. And you're just like, you could just be yourself. Let your freak flag fly. Why not?
I've never seen that ghost before, Daddy. That ghost over there is new.
Can I show you a haunted doll?
Yes, please.
It's time for...
The dolls are living.
Here's what I do, is I go to ebay.com and I type in the words haunted doll. Now, this is a big market, okay? There's thousands of haunted dolls for sale. And they all come with little biographies. They're very differently priced. There's a haunted doll for anyone. Jiha, can you show us this haunted doll? I'd like you to meet Mildred, who is going for $53.10.
You got it, Roz.
There she is.
I didn't know it'd be such a jump scare. Whoa.
She is silly. Can we get the full the second picture, please?
See, I always think of like kind of maybe a little scary looking doll, but this one is, she looks scared.
Yeah, this is a doll that kind of has her eyes crossed and like a pouty lower lip. And she looks like something's definitely wrong. Something is not right with this doll. I don't know what her...
Terrible haircut.
Her hair is a mess. She absolutely got that Supercuts buy one, get one free and took the free one.
I think that face is pretty much maybe the moment she saw that haircut.
And then she just froze like that forever.
Yeah.
So here's the bio. It says, meet Mildred. She's a down-to-earth spirit with a real, relatable vibe. She's a bit frumpy and sometimes comes off as a Debbie Downer. But deep down, she just craves genuine friendship and a place to belong. Mildred's spirit hails from a simpler time when she worked a modest job at a local store, always willing to lend a hand whenever life got her down. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the good stuff here. Here's some of the stuff you'll witness if you buy her. Occasional soft sighs and gentle grumbling, like she's musing about old times. Subtle movements that hint she might be looking around for someone to talk to. And a quiet, lingering aura of wistfulness that fills the room during those calm moments. She does the best in a relaxed, no-fuss environment. She responds to a cozy corner, a quiet conversation, or simply sharing your day with her. Yeah, that's pretty much it about her. This is definitely one that people listening go to Ghosted by Roz on Instagram to take a look at her and her bangs. Doug, can I play you some ghost voices?
Yes.
It's time for EVPs or EV Please. Have you ever heard the term EVP?
I don't think so.
Electronic Voice Phenomenon.
Oh, it's not a Law and Order show.
That's SVU. This is EVP.
Okay.
So basically, it's anytime somebody captures a ghost speaking, a recording of it. Honestly, with your ghost uniform on today, this is the kind of thing that you seem like you would be capturing. Okay. A ghost saying something.
Yeah.
So I've got two of them for you. This first one is from a YouTube channel called MT Paranormal Life. What is it saying? I don't know where this is. It's somewhere outside. They captured this ghost speaking. It's so clear, you can't tell.
I think, did I hear "shut up, bitch"? Was that in there?
Yeah.
Shut up, bitch, you bitch.
Shut up, bitch, you bitch. Listen, that's not a bad guess. I gotta hear it. I think you were born for this job. Just for the job you want. Well, did they did not think it was "shut up, bitch, you bitch"? Did they think it was A, there are demons? B, you are awful, so awful. That's B. C, I want waffles, please. Or D, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Okay?
Yeah.
It's one of those.
I think it's B.
You think it's B?
I think they
you
think
are
it's
awful,
B.
so awful.
Yeah. I don't know.
They believe it is.
I don't hear that.
They think it's A, there are demons.
Okay, let's hear it again with that in mind. I can't stop hearing "shut up, bitch."
That's exactly what I hear too now. Okay, here's one more.
Okay.
This one is from Paranormal Adventures UK. Here we go. It's
Probably
a British ghost.
castle.
Probably a castle. Okay, this one's different. It's a little bit more whispery.
Oh, I see. Sounds like a seal flapping around in a grotto.
Did they think it was A? Oh, look at her, that diva. Did they think it was B? I'm about to be fainting. C? Don't look here, painting. Or D? It's me, Fanny Lines. I'm back.
I'm going to go with C because it's such weird, strange sentence structure.
Don't look here, painting. That is what they thought. Okay, wait a second. Let's listen for that now.
I heard painting that time.
Yeah.
But there's another noise going on at the same time, right?
No, there's definitely a seal flopping around a grotto. And then there's Don't Look Now painting is also happening.
Let me hear it again, please.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yes. It's like that movie Andre. Is that what it was called? The seal movie from the 90s?
Yeah.
That's happening while somebody's whispering about a painting. Let's do another thing here real quick. What about Bigfoot? What do you think?
I wish there was a Bigfoot. I wish we'd find him, learn his likes and dislikes.
Well, he clearly doesn't like to be bothered if it is real.
No, I'm kind of happy that I'm happy with the idea that there's a Bigfoot who's gotten away with not being caught. Or even
iconic.
seen for a long period of time.
If that's true, that's to commit to that and just give the people just enough.
Yeah.
Just a little, not too much. Well,
maybe he shaves for the summer. Who knows?
That's interesting. And that's a new theory.
He walks amongst us.
Yeah, he
just
probably
seems like some big bald dude.
Well, apparently here's an article from November of this past year. He was seen in South Carolina. It says here, according to a new report, this is from The State, which is not the comedy group. The state.com is a local news source. Okay. So it says, according to a new report, the urban legend, also called Sasquatch, was seen on November 2nd. Now, there was a big football game going on. It's between
big football, I get it.
USC's 44-20 home game win over Texas A&M. It says, the report makes no mention of Bigfoot wearing any Gamecocks apparel. I think that's a local joke.
A little hilarious.
Yeah.
Piece of commentary.
So anyway, it says a witness that refers to himself as JM identified himself as a police officer. He reported the sighting on November 6th to Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. This organization's founder, whose name is Matthew Moneymaker, he did a follow-up investigation and found that the report was indeed credible.
Oh, okay.
Moneymaker is also a co-host of the show Finding Bigfoot. Okay, so basically the story is that the witness says that he was deer hunting and he was sitting in a ground blind. Is that a hunting thing? I don't know.
I guess almost like a...
where you're hiding so that you could...
Yeah, like when you're like a trench in the battlefield kind of thing.
I don't like that. He heard a loud, deep-toned grunt and a stomp at the same time. Not a grunt. I don't like grunts. He turned around and he saw an approximately 7 to 7.5 foot tall, brown, human-like shape through all of the brush. It had long brown hair, ape-like face, and long arms. I'm a police officer and had no clue what to make of it, he says. At this point, as much as I didn't want to admit it, I'm convinced I saw Bigfoot. That's the thing with all these stories. Anytime it's a cop, it's like, well, this person's a cop. They wouldn't lie. That's definitely something that I think they're relying on with this story is the fact that the guy's a cop. Because we get that with ghost stories too all the time. The cops came and they said they also saw the thing. And it's like, okay, well, they're cops. Like, cops never lied. Like, whatever. Not to get political. But, yeah, so Bigfoot
They're
lives.
sworn to, be honest when they see anything unusual, anything paranormal or Bigfoot-like. They're police.
He was off the clock. He was shooting.
They protect and serve. They protect us from Bigfoot and serve Bigfoot
Someone's
a
got
nice hot lunch every day.
to
keep if Bigfoot's not out there, then what are the police protecting us from? So they're in cahoots.
Oh, that's
the police and Bigfoot are working together to keep us scared.
Bigfoot. There we go. Doug,
Yes.
just a couple of rapid fire questions and then I'll let you out of here.
Get your drink first.
I'm just curious your thoughts on a couple of different paranormal phenomenal.
Okay.
Maybe it'll inspire, maybe you go, oh, actually, I have a story. Maybe not. No pressure.
Okay.
Psychics.
I think most of them are running some sort of scam, but again, sometimes it's pretty amazing the things psychics will say, but I've never personally had an amazing psychic experience.
Have you been to psychics?
I've tried it a couple of times, like at a carnival or like Hollywood Boulevard or something like, getting my palm read, And sometimes you'll also just meet somebody, especially in LA, who says they know how to read palms or do tarot cards.
Totally.
So you mess with that, but that all just seems like, just sort of guesswork.
Right. What about Ouija boards?
Haven't had too much success with a Ouija board. I haven't ever really felt like I connected with something, but people do seem to sure love to put their hand on there and push it around. Like, especially in a movie when they all put their hands on and they're going, Y-E-S,
Yeah,
they spell
exactly.
something like really quick. Like, to me, if it's real, it's just going to be very subtle little movements.
Yeah.
But again, it's a bunch of people with their hands on it that all have different agendas.
Where are you from again?
San Diego.
Okay. So did you grow up with any local urban legends or anything like that?
Ooh,
There's like a scary road in San Diego area that I can't remember the story of. But it's like a scary road where like creatures come out at night. I don't know. It's one of those things.
there's this one street by my high school in the El Cajon part of San Diego where there's like this old motel, and it was just sort of, they put this freeway in and it just sort of became like its own little area that was kind of secluded. But we'd walk by it sometimes to get to the high school. But everybody would always talk about how it appeared to be like there was a noose hanging from a tree outside of this hotel. So everybody had their own version of what was going on with that. But I always just felt like maybe it was just a branch or a piece of rope that kind of looked like a noose.
Okay.
But still, just the idea of it is pretty scary.
That is spooky. I know a lot of, we'll see, some of the iconic haunted places in San Diego. So there's the Whaley House. You ever been there?
Mm-mm.
Whaley House is in like Old Town.
Okay, that sounds right.
It's been a minute since I've been there, but I feel like it's one of those places where all the people that dress there dress like in the time period.
Oh, yeah, I
Like,
bet.
and yeah. And they like give you like guided tours.
It sounds familiar. It just sounds like something I wouldn't have been into
Right.
the older I got. And I don't know if high schools
Yeah, I wonder.
Do you think they went on field trips to this
It
place?
feels like it would be a field trip.
Yeah,
place.
so I definitely went to like all the museums in San Diego on field trips. And every Halloween, the prehistoric museum would do a haunted museum where you walk through the whole thing. But the whole thing is already all caveman statues. So you turn off all the lights, now you got a haunted... haunted house / museum. But I always thought that was such a weird thing to do in a museum, is to take these pieces that are supposed to be like educational or artifacts and then just go, this is scary if the lights are off.
Throw them in the pillory.
Yeah, I think I've been pilloried. I think they had one like in Williamsburg or something when I went on a field trip to Washington, D.C.
That
I
feels
think they
right.
had, because they have the people churning butter and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Like what you were just saying about the Whaley House.
I'm obsessed with that kind of thing.
It's so wild.
And then you like see the person on their break, like on their phone or like smoking a cigarette.
Always smoking a cigarette.
Well, Doug, that's it.
That's it?
That was it.
Oh, that was easy.
Quick and easy.
Oh, yeah.
Where do people find you? What's going on? I feel like you do like a bajillion different things.
I do have a bunch of shows I do locally in LA, but also out on the road. Benson Movie Interruption, Doug Loves Movies, and DougLovesMovies.com is where all of my dates are. So you can just go there and see all the things I'm up to.
Wait, here's a question. What about when people say a movie is cursed? That's true. People say that about some of these.
They do. They say it about, I've seen lots of things be, people saying they're cursed, for, one reason or another. But like, is one that springs to mind is the Poltergeist films. Yes. Like somebody from each Poltergeist film dies, but all under different circumstances. So you can either say that that's the curse is spreading the wealth, or you could say that it's just a unfortunate coincidence. You
know what my favorite one is? It's been a minute since I've talked about this on the pod. Atuk. A-T-U-K. Do you know about this?
Is it a movie?
It was a movie script. It was a kind of like a fish out of water comedy film script. I always get this a little bit confused, but essentially it was written for John Belushi or John Candy.
Both of those sound legit.
It was written for one of them, and it was supposed to be that he was like an indigenous person from like Alaska, and then he comes to America, and it's like he's trying, it's a typical like 80s comedy or whatever. Yeah, like Robin Williams in Moscow on the Hudson. Very that kind of. So they say that anybody that was offered the role died. Oh, so that's why both of those guys did die. There's a whole long list of them that they say. And even the guy that wrote it has done interviews about it before to confirm. But like tons of people. And to the point where I think they just kind of shelved it. But it was like very strange. I mean, those were, Belushi and Candy lived life pretty hard. If every other actor they went after for that role had the same energy, I could see why they were all dying young. Yeah. Well, on that note. What a fun finish. Thanks for joining me. There's a movie script I would like for you to read. Oh, no.
What's that at the foot of my bed? It's spooky and kooky. I'm pretty sure it's dead. It's coming this way. Wait a minute, hey! I'm